It's that time of year when fantasy camps are cooking all around the league, and the Phillies have their fantasy camp open. There are so many great names from Phillies past teams. John Kruk's there, Mickey Morandini's there, Greg Luzinski's there, Chase Utley is there. Look how good Crucky looks, man.
Yeah, he looks good coaching third base over there. At first, I thought the guy on third was him, and then looked at
our good friend, five-time All-Star, World Series champ, and Phillies legend Larry Bowa joins us on the Monday show. Bo, good to see you, man.
It's good to see you two guys, man. I watch you guys all the time and getting ready now for spring training and see what happens this year.
I know you love fantasy camp. How many campers do you have? Does anybody at fantasy camp have a shot, or is it a bunch of guys that want to drink beer in the afternoon and take Advil at night?
Drink beer in the afternoon, take Advil at night. They had a blast. We had some big boys in town here trying to teach these guys some fundamentals. You know, the bottom line here is these guys all are trying to relive their dreams, but they all have kids. So any kind of knowledge that we give them during this fantasy camp, they go home and teach it to their kids, and some of them to their grandkids. So, but they had a great time, and we had some big hitters down here. We had 12 teams, and there were 13 guys on each team. So anytime the Phillies play good during the summer, fantasy camp is packed.
Ah, yeah, makes sense.
Hey, Bo, you're known for defense, but you had over 2,000 hits, man.
I know people don't realize that.
Wow.
You know, how are you? As you well know, you and I know I wasn't a power hitter. Every now and then you run into one. But, you know, I couldn't hit water if I fell out of a boat when I first came up. But Billy DeMars, who was our hitting coach, I spent hours in the cage every day during the summer, during the winter. And he taught me how to hit. I had to learn how to switch hit AAA, and I was very fortunate to stay healthy and play a long time and get over 2,000 hits.
So when was the last time you hit a ball then? Have you hopped in the cage at all? When was the last time?
You know what? I take a couple cuts, but I hit a million fungos in spring training. Bobby Dickerson, who's our infield instructor, does a tremendous job with our infielders. You know, I help him out. And starting February 10th, I'll be hitting ground balls on our half field, and looking forward to spring training to start.
Hey, Bo, regarding the fantasy camp, what's the oldest camper that comes out? Like, is there anybody that comes out that remembers, like, the 1980 World Series chapter and verse?
We had a ton of them this year, which is unbelievable. Because, you know, when you get up and talk, you know, you say, well, I don't know if you guys remember 1980, and they all start cheering and everything. But we had the 80 team, and then, of course, Charlie Manuel was there. Charlie's recovering from a stroke. He looked great. He got a bunch of standing ovations. And, of course, 2008 was the other World Series. But it was unbelievable how many people remembered the 1980 World Series.
Was that the series where Pete Rose and Bob Boone with the ball popped out of the glove and they caught it? And you had the perfect view. You're on the field playing. What was your reactions to that? Take us through that play.
My reaction was, after that play happened, I said, it's destiny. We're going to win this thing. And, you know, we had to go through Houston, and every game was extra innings except the first one. So once we got by Houston, I said, you know what, this is going to be icing on the cake here. I didn't feel any pressure. People said, oh, you're going to feel pressure. I thought it was fun, and we finally got over the hump. You know, we played some good teams and came up short. The Big Red Machine and the Dodgers, they had real good teams in the 70s, and finally we got over the hump in 80.
All right, one more thing here. Nastiest pitcher you ever saw, and you can give me the pitch. Was it a Nolan Ryan hook, not the heater? Was it a Steve Carlton slider? What was the nastiest thing you saw?
You know, playing shortstop, as you well know, the middle of the infield, hero. I never seen so many right-handed hitters swing at sliders that if they didn't swing would have hit their back leg. Steve Carlton's slider was nasty. You know, people ask me about Bob Gibson and Nolan Ryan, and I know there's great pitchers now pitching, and they all throw hard. The difference, and you can attest to this, those guys were mean on the mound. And if you went to bunt and fouled it off, the next time you're going to get dusted. It's just a mentality that was different. But Gibson was really, really tough. Nolan and Tom Seaver, those guys were nasty. Sometimes you go in that series, they hope I get 0 for 2 and a couple walks.
Hey, Bo, because tomorrow is the Hall of Fame day, and we're talking a lot about the Hall of Fame now. Between your playing career and your managerial career, I mean, you intersected personally with so many guys that are in the building, so many guys that are on the ballot every year. as a philosophy statement, are you a big haul guy? Do you say the more the merrier, or do you feel like that should be exclusive for the 1% of the 1%?
I think they should expand it a little bit. There's some great players out there that aren't in the Hall of Fame. And, at the beginning, it was if you had a 10-year period at who you were playing with at that time, it's hard to compare. To me, it's apples and oranges right now. The game's different right now. You can't project what guys are doing now back in the day. I was very fortunate. You just named some that I've been around a while. I mean, I coached Jeter. I coached A-Rod. I coached Tony Gwynn. I mean, I had some really, really good players. But I think you got to expand a little bit. It's very difficult to get in. And I understand they don't want it to be a cakewalk to get in. But there's some guys out there. I mean, I look at a couple of guys. Bobby Abreu, I take a look at his numbers. I mean, they're off the charts. And I look at Jimmy Rollins, and I look at the projection that he's trying to get this year, and they're still down. I don't understand that. Chase Utley's getting a lot of attention right now. Billy Wagner, I had him. There's a lot of Hall of Famers that are sitting that I should say they should be in the Hall of Fame, but they're sitting on the outside looking in.
Well, I got one for you, and I think this guy was going to be in the Hall of Fame as soon as he signed that contract coming over there for 13 years, and that's Bryce. I'm going to talk to you about Harper a little bit. When they started making the move and he was taking ground balls and I'm watching him at first base, I went, that's going to be a career move for him. And he picked it up quick. So tell us a little bit about him playing first, your thoughts of it, and the work he went in to do that.
You know what, Harold? It was a no-brainer. He came in there, and again, I said Bobby Dickerson, who I think is a great infield coach. He's very athletic, Hart. You could put him anywhere. You could put him at short. You could put him at third. I think he just likes to be more involved playing the infield, and he really enjoyed it there. But there's not too many. You could see right off the bat, ground balls coming off the bag. And nothing fazed him. He picked it up real quick. He went out every day, in all fairness to him, and he worked extremely hard. He could have played first probably a couple of weeks earlier. He said, when I go out there, I want to be the best that I can be. I don't want to hurt the ball club. And he worked extremely hard, and the results really paid off. And it's opening up our outfield situation a little bit right now. We need to get Rojas, our center fielder. If we get him swinging the bat a little bit, we're going to be in pretty good shape.
Yes.
Offensively and defensively.
Hey, Bo, we appreciate the visit, man. We'd love talking to you. Thanks for coming on during this fantasy camp time, and hopefully we get to see you in spring training this year.
All right, guys, you take care. And by the way, third time's a charm. We came up short in Houston, came up short last year. We're going to try to take it all this year.
There we go.
I love it.
Laying the gauntlet down in January. I love it. Larry Bowa joined us on the program.
All right.
Thanks,
One
Bo.
of our favorites,
Appreciate
man.
you, man.
Okay.